we just heard that there was an active shooter, and we just barricaded ourselves in offices to make sure that we were all safe, and I called 911 just to get them to come there as fast as possible.
Can you take me to what was going on right at the point when you realized something was terribly wrong?
When my boss basically was like, "This is not a drill, get down, call 911," and that's when I called 911, and we all just ran in her office and closed the door.
Did you see anybody actually get injured?
I didn't physically see anybody get injured, so.
And which department were you in?
Public utilities.
Public utilities. Did you hear anything from anyone about who the suspect might be?
No.
Just tell us about the reaction. I mean, everyone getting down, running around, not knowing what's happening. I mean, this is something you could, I mean, no matter how much training you go through, it's something we can't prepare you. Just tell us about that.
Basically, we just wanted to try to keep everybody safe as much as we could, and just trying to stay on the phone with 911, just because we wanted to make sure they were coming. They couldn't come fast enough, and just making sure that they were.
How long did that 911 wait feel like?
Hours. Yeah.
And you said those shots were very clear from where you were on the second floor.
Yeah.
How many people were in the office with you?
The office that we were in probably had about 20 people, just barricaded. Yeah.
Were you literally just, I'm assuming, hugging one another, holding one another?
Yeah, and we had the desk barricaded against the door.
And what were you hearing? So the desk is barricaded against the door.
What were you hearing outside?
What were you hearing?
We heard gunshots. We kept hearing gunshots, and we kept hearing the cops saying, "Get down," and it was very muffled, but the stairwell was right next to the office, so we kept hearing like people talking, and we heard the canines come up the steps.
Did you hear the suspect saying anything?
We couldn't hear him saying anything or her saying anything.
With the gunshots, tell me about the rapid fire gunshots. Like, what are we dealing with?
I don't know, honestly.
Lots and lots?
I don't know, honestly.
Yeah, you mentioned it was muffled. You know, you did say that you guys try to do everything you can. I asked you, you know, what do you want people at home to know? People are praying for you. People are making sure you guys are okay. What do you really want them to know about today and what happened in there?
Just do all that you can to try to make sure everybody's safe, because that's all we were trying to do, was just make sure everybody was safe.
Can you talk about how close-knit Public Works is? I mean, that's like a family in there, right?
Yeah.
Talk to us about how this is more than the coworkers, right? This is like a home to you. You're here every day with these people. I mean, that has to hit home.
Yeah. We just were trying to text everybody because, like you said, like, we knew everybody, but we didn't know where everybody was at that time, so we were just trying to find out, like, you know, if our friends were safe, if the people that we knew were in the office were safe.
Describe to me how you would describe this type of evil.
I just don't know why anyone would do something like that. I don't know what would possess somebody to just come in and just start shooting at people.
You have seen this around the country, and now it's come all across the country, and now it's come here.
It's just surreal, and like I said before, you see this on the news all the time, and you just, you know, you pray for the people and you just hope that they're okay, but you never think it's going to happen to you. But when it happens to you, it's just a totally different experience, and you think about your family, you think about, like, everybody that you know, just pray that they're safe.
What is your name again? What is your name?
Megan Banton.
Megan, what do you do?
Banton.
What do you do next after a day like this? You go home and just hug your family? Talk about how you go about the rest of your day knowing what just occurred.
I'll probably have a lot of trouble sleeping at night, but yeah, just going home, hugging my family. I have a 11-month-old baby at home, and all I could think about was him and trying to make it home to him.
Hold on, I'll let you know. Tell them I'm switching batteries. We're going to be switching batteries real quick.
You guys all set? Yes.
Okay. Okay. You don't have a picture right now. Get a new battery in. News conference is about to begin.
Jim, and then the rest.
Okay, and here comes the mayor, Bob Dyer. Okay, do you see us?
Do we need the blinds closed?
There you go. Right with the blinds.
Sorry, don't do this.
Let's start with what is most important. This is the most devastating day in the history of Virginia Beach. The people involved are our friends, co-workers, neighbors, colleagues. At this point, I would like to turn things over to Chief Cervera to give you the information that we have so far.
I'm going to give the information that we have at this time. As we receive additional information, we will release it when it's appropriate. So what I know at this time is the information we're going to release. Right now, I can tell you we have multiple casualties and multiple fatalities. We have 11 deceased victims. They are at the scene. We had 6 more victims who were transported to area hospitals. I do not have the condition of those victims at this particular time. I can tell you that one of the individuals shot by the suspect is a Virginia Beach police officer, and he was saved by his vest. We've established a family assistance center at Princess Anne Middle School. That's at Nemo Parkway and Holland Road for the employees who worked in Building 2 so that they can meet up with their friends and their families. We're also in the process of identifying all of our victims so that we can make personal notification to family members. We do know that shortly after 4 p.m. this afternoon, the suspect entered Building 2. He's a longtime employee of Public Utilities. I will not release his name at this time. And he immediately began to indiscriminately fire upon all the victims. Officers entered. Once the call went out, the officers were at headquarters. They responded to Building 2. They secured as much of the victims as they could, and then they engaged with the suspect. The suspect did shoot a police officer. Officers returned fire. Suspect is deceased. While the scene is secure, we have a long-term investigative process that's being undertaken right now. There's a lot of work to be done. It's still an active scene. We are being assisted due to the size and scope and intensity of this scene. We're being assisted by the FBI Forensics Unit, DHS Forensics Unit, and the Virginia State Police Forensics Unit. Medical examiner also is en route, which is protocol for the medical examiner's office. Right now we have a lot of questions. The whys, they will come later. Right now, we have more questions really than we have answers. We're a little more than 2 hours into this event. And we use the word event, that's a cop term, this devastating incident that happened that none of us want to be here talking about. This devastating incident which is going to change the lives of a number of families from our city. So my goal will be to update you and confirm additional information as soon as we can. Our next briefing should be at 21:30 hours. We have been told that the governor is en route to this scene. We've been notified by our state senators and by various and sundry other elected officials offering their condolences to our city and to our family of those of us who work in Virginia Beach.
Can you tell us any more about the suspect? Was he a former employee or was he a current?
He's a current employee.
Current employee. And do we know anything about what led to his dismissal?
That I'm going to have to hold off, Andy.
What floor was this?
I'm sorry?
What floor was it?
It was multiple floors.
Do you know how long the shooting was?
I couldn't tell you how long a shooting occurs. They're usually very quick.
Can you take us inside the movements of the suspect once he entered the building? And we know it's not a secure building because it's a building where people do business in the city. Do we know what he did once he entered?
Again, we are beginning the forensic process of this particular incident, and please understand the size of this incident, the intensity. I've got officers, we have firefighters who entered the building to assist victims. We have our EMS rescue personnel. We had numerous law enforcement officers who went through that building. It's a huge scene, but understand the intensity of this scene. So as more information comes out as to how this unfolded, you will be given the appropriate information when the time is due.
Chief, does the 11 include the suspect?
The
11
11?
deceased, does it include the suspect?
No.
No, so.
We have 11,
total 12,
we have 11 victims
11 victims.
and the suspect, who's also deceased.
Thank you.
Chief, you've been here a long time, you've been chief a long time, and I can tell because you and I have known each other a long time that you're very emotional about this. I want you, if you would, please, sir, and I know it's tough, to tell us about this evil that hit Virginia Beach today.
There's no way to describe an incident such as this. No chief of police anywhere in the country, no mayor, no city manager, no assistant city manager, no fire chief, no rescue chief ever wants to have to stand up and give information such as this. I think at this particular point I want to give the utmost respect and dignity to the victims and to their families, because they are going to be forever changed based on this particular incident. The other piece that I think everyone has to remember is we have a number of forensic techs and detectives who are working through this scene, and just understand the intensity of what that scene is.
Chief, could you tell us more about the officer who was shot?
The officer was shot, and he was basically saved by his bulletproof vest. So he was treated, and I have not had a chance to have a conversation with him, but that will happen tonight.
Chief, the city is shaken. What are your words to people in Virginia Beach?
Well, I can tell you this. The fact that the suspect was immediately confronted, the fact that the suspect is deceased, means that our citizens can rest easy tonight. We do not have someone who's out in the community to do more harm. Can also, to the citizens of our city, really understand that when this particular violent act occurred, police, fire, rescue immediately responded to the scene and did that professional thing that they do, because that's what they do.
Chief, what offices were in that building?
I'm sorry?
Do you know what offices are in that building?
Public Works, Public Utilities, it's the operations building of the city.
Chief, can you say were all of the victims city employees, or were they city employees and customers?
I'm gonna have to hold off on identifying who the exact victims were.
If I could make a statement.
Yes, sir.
Chief, were any city employees injured?
Yes.
Would you identify yourself, sir?
I'm Councilman Aaron Rouse. This day will not define Virginia Beach. We, our citizens, will define our response to this day, Virginia Beach. We will determine going forward today how we respond to our city. We will come together. We will show the strength of our city. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will let you know the next briefing will be approximately 9:30. We will keep you updated as the exact time and the location as we get closer.
Could you repeat the number of injuries? Just non-intelligent injuries. Yeah, clarifying the deceased, the injured.
There were 6 were taken to the hospital. We don't have their
Oh, is that separate from the 11 deceased?